when you were preparing for Ohio State, how much did you focus on Caleb Wesson?
Well, we were worried about him in the low post. He's a monster down there. I thought we did a good job trying to get around him. He's hard to get around, but there was never one time that he got called for backing in. So, it's usually there's one of those, but there wasn't. And, our guys were just trying to get around him. He's a tough guy to get around. I thought overall we did a good job on him, but, the foul line just killed us. He had 35 free throws. There's a reason we play zone, and at the end of the year, we're usually plus 150 to 200 free throw line. It didn't work out too well tonight for us.
Welcome to the Cuse Militia Podcast with those two unapologetically biased, orange-blooded homers, Sean and Joe. Give us a like on Facebook at Cuse Militia Podcast and follow on Twitter at Cuse Militia.
All right, what's up, Cuse Nation? Thanks for tuning into the Cuse Militia Podcast with Sean and Joe. If you like it, please share it, and as always, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. Syracuse hands Ohio State their first loss of the season, overcoming an awful officiating crew, and Jimmy Boeheim and Cornell coming to the Dome Saturday night at 8 p.m., and we'll give you the preview for that game. But first, if you're watching football and you enjoy watching football, just imagine if you had some skin in the game, you guys. You've been hearing me talk about my bookie for weeks and months possibly, and some of you are still sitting on the sidelines. Whether you're an expert or a rookie, you should be betting at my bookie. If you're the kind of guy or gal that likes to bet a little and win a lot, like playing numbers on roulette, you can create a big parlay. Pick 3 teams to win. If all 3 win, you could turn $100 into $600. There's tons to bet on there. College basketball, football, NBA, NHL, custom props, even esports. You name it, it's on there. My bookie is the one bet I know you'll be happy with all year. I recommend these guys because I trust them. My bookie has been in business for years. They've got great online reviews, and their mobile site is easy to use. Sign up this week, and my bookie will give you a 50% deposit bonus to jumpstart your bankroll. It's a great way to bank even more money when you win. Also, make sure to follow at BetMyBookie on Twitter. They personally respond to every mention in DM. Not to mention, they've given away more than $10,000 in free money to their followers this football season. You'll be the first to know as soon as new odds are posted or props are posted. Log on to MyBookie right now and use a promo code Cuse25 and get that 50% deposit bonus. That's promo code Cuse25. You play, you win, you get paid. Go to MyBookie and get paid. Okay? If you just listen to Joe's MyBookie picks, I mean, you could be in the money right now. Let's be honest. He hit another one. The kid's on fire. The kid. He's almost 40. So
35.
Our last episode 100, the first triple-digit episode, didn't upload to YouTube. Why? I have no idea. It's done it before. I don't know. It just gets lost. And when
it'll do it again.
When I go to publish an episode, I just hit publish, and it's just all I do is hit one button. I don't do everything manually. So I don't know what happened, but if that ever does happen, the first option, if you watch on PC, I mean, we're ubiquitous. So if you watch on PC, you can go almost anywhere on PC.
Wait, what?
Huh?
What?
Do what?
We're what?
We're ubiquitous, Joe. Ubiquitous.
Oh.
We're everywhere.
Oh, here we go with the $10 friggin' words. Here we go. Again. Do you read the dictionary again?
No.
Unbelievable. Go ahead. I'll listen.
Oh, boy. So go to, if you're on PC, if you're listening on YouTube, listen on YouTube. Your second choice, if it's not there, is just to go to armchairallamericans.com. All of our stuff's archived on there, and it's always manually uploaded there by the guys at Armchair. So we thank them for that. That's your backup. And by the way, we didn't think we were going to make it here today, but the podcast, Cuse Militia Podcast, turns 2 today. So happy birthday to the Cuse Militia Podcast. That's pretty awesome. Anything else, Joe? Nothing else, right? No, we're good, right? Mm-hmm. All right, the 1 minute recap is brought to you by JP Mulligan's. Happy hour every Monday through Friday, 4 to 6. Trivia Tuesdays, every NFL game, every Sunday. And, of course, they play every Syracuse game. Go there, hang with other Cuse fans, stool up, grab some wings, grab a frosty beverage, grab a burger. The burgers are good too.
Yeah.
And if Nick's working behind the bar, you know the deal. You tell him why you're there, and why you're there is to grab some Cuse Militia swag.
To watch the game, yeah.
And watch the game. Right.
Too, yeah.
Right. The Orange improved to 4-2, dropping Ohio State in their band of refs. I think this is a huge win on the road for Syracuse, taking out a number 16 Ohio State. Frank Howard, he wasn't super flashy, finishing with 8 points, but his presence was obvious, again, as Tyus was able to do his thing, leading the team with 20 points. He shot 60% from the floor, and again, Hughes, he just continues to put in good minutes for this team. And he followed up Tyus with 18 points. He shot 44.4% from distance. Brissett got into foul trouble early. He had to sit for a big chunk of the first half, but he was able to come and finish the second half out. He did finish with 14 points. He did his thing. OSU came into this game shooting 50% field goals, but the Cuse zone held them to just 32.6. They also came in hot, shooting 39% from behind the arc, and the Orange miraculously were able to hold them to just 6 for 22. That's 27.3%. Now, the one thing I noticed, the one thing I'm so big on Hughes, if Syracuse can get good ball movement on offense, Hughes finds a way to get open. And when Hughes finds a way to get open, Hughes can be dangerous. I mean, he got a good.
No,
he got a bunch
he's our best jump shooter.
Oh yeah, he is. You're right. You're absolutely
He's
right.
our best jump shooter when he's open. We have other guys that are capable of making shots, but Hughes, to me, he isn't afraid to shoot the mid-range jumper for just 2 points, or obviously the three-pointer. He's been our best three-point shooter so far in the beginning of the year. So yeah, I have nothing really bad to say about Elijah Hughes, without a doubt. And he's one of only a few that stayed out of foul trouble last night. So
yeah, that's true. Well, I wouldn't fault anybody.
How controlled that was, but
I wouldn't fault anybody for being in foul trouble during that game. But
everybody was on our team.
Yeah, I know it. Syracuse entered that game shooting just 23.3% from distance, and they shot 45.8% last night. I thought that was awesome. Sidibe and Chukwu on the road too. Now I stress this on the road thing, but that, first of all, that's huge.
Yeah.
It is, man, because that place was getting raucous, especially when they cut that lead. They cut that big lead from like 10-6. Something like that. And, that place got loud, and they were just shut right up. I think it was it Brissett? I can't remember. I shouldn't even brought it up. But someone shut him up. And, we mentioned last episode, doesn't matter, right? And we mentioned last episode about how, I mentioned how I was, the inside, with Chukwu and Sidibe. I just get so nervous with them guys sometimes. They get pushed around so easy, and between the two of them last night, there was only one shot put up, and Chukwu still hasn't dunked the ball. So, you're 7'2", you haven't dunked the ball yet this year.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't understand that.
We've talked about it. We've been trying, they've been trying to figure it out. Frank Howard's back, and I think that finally we saw that, and we saw what difference it's going to make. And you saw huge differences actually offensively and defensively. To go and look at the stats, we shot really, really well, but I think we have to kind of talk a lot about like our defense. I think the fouls in the beginning with Brissett was unfortunate, and it stinks to be able to lose one of your better players for pretty much 3/4 of a half just because a ref is out there, kind of trying to set the pace and kind of let people know what they're going to call for fouls and stuff. But it was on the same guy, and a lot of them were kind of
Well, one, he was going for the two guys were diving on the floor for the ball, and they called the foul on Brissett for the third one.
Yeah. That was tough, and again too, a lot of times when we play teams that we might not be, and I say we, like the coaching staff might not be kind of privy to what they do on offense and kind of stuff like that. Like sometimes it takes time to kind of adjust your defense in the 2-3 zone to what they're doing, and I thought that that we really did a good job with that. And again, too, last night I think, and I think Dolce touched on this and the player interviews, but we don't win a game like last night with the team we had last year. Last night you saw the depth,
right? Yeah.
And you saw kind of how we kind of broke through that. Remember last year? Last year we had to win the free throw percentage. We had to win the turnover battle. We had to win the rebounds just to win games. And last night, when you look at it, we lost the turnover battle 13-11. We lost the rebounds 31-29.
Hit our free throws, though.
We had 28 personal fouls called on us to their 17. We did go 17-19 from the free throw line, but they went 26-35. They shot 35 free throws, like Jim Boeheim let us know in the beginning of
that's his
of the podcast.
subtle way of saying BS on that one.
Right, but we held them to 32.6% shooting and 27% from the three-point, which is way under their average. And again, you don't want to sit there and say that they just got it, and you don't want to give it all to like Frank Howard. But it's ironic that Frank Howard comes back and kind of puts those minutes in and starts, and you see these numbers like this. So again, you're just kind of looking at it. I think the growth and kind of the development of a team that is destined to be better than last year. Last year, we know how tough that season was, and it was great the way that it ended. But even those tournament games, our offense wasn't great, and we had to grind them out. And like we said, win the turnover battle, win the free throws, and the rebounds. And like just last night, like you said, on the road too against a team that, according to, I know it's early, but that net ranking, they were the number one. So again, we don't know how good the team's going to be. They were preseason ranked to pick 10th to finish 10th in the Big Ten, but again, it was really, really good to see us come back from, the fouls early and then the fouls throughout the game. I mean, we won by 10, and you see the discrepancy in free throws and stuff like that. I mean, that could have been a lot worse.
Oh, yeah, it could have been terrible.
Right. And they came out and they were beating us 17-8. So we started scoring slow too as well. So overall, I like the way that we just kept our heads in it and we just showed our depth, and our defense was actually just really, really good at some point, like especially in that second half when we made that comeback and then held that lead. It was good to see our team looking kind of like they're back together, especially actually both sides of the ball overall. It was just a great win.
Everything improved. Yeah, it was the best full team effort of this year so far. And you could almost say with Frank finally in there that they're really just starting to work, especially with the younger guys, having Frank in there. I mean, he was sidelined for 8 weeks. So you're just starting to really get that chemistry to work, and you can only expect that it's going to improve. And, they took a beating in New York City, but I don't think those games, especially the UConn one, go down like that if they have Frank Howard in there. There was a lot of buzz around the slow start of this game in, like, some of this year, but I don't even understand, like, there's nothing new about that. They always start slow. Slow. They've never come out on fire. I can't remember the last time they came out on fire. Can you?
I mean, a game here, a game there, and sometimes we don't have as difficult schedule as early in the non-conference. So, no, I just, like I said, I mean, it's Syracuse basketball, and most of the time, especially in the beginning of games, let alone the beginning of seasons, I mean, it's the same thing, but he's still trying to, it's a feel-out period, and that's just kind of what he's doing. You saw the people that played and the people that didn't play last night compared to, the other nights when Frank Howard wasn't there. So I think you're kind of starting to get the rotation, and the minutes might fluctuate, obviously depending on fouls and how they play, other lineups, stuff like that. But I mean, like we talked about before, it's kind of looking more and more like Braswell and Buddy Boeheim are going to be kind of closer to the red shirt side of things. But even without them, I mean, the depth that we have is usually what Boeheim kind of goes through. We don't usually go more than 8 deep. So I think we kind of see that. Now it's just getting the roles in and just, like you said, playing together. And after everything that happened in New York and everything, I just think that it was a really, really good thing to see them go down or go over to Ohio State, play against a ranked team, and on the road just play pretty good, even when we did get kind of beat in some categories.
Yeah, I'm not even going to lie. Well, that's a huge statement too, Joe, like you mentioned. But I'm not even going to lie. I was really nervous about this game. Mostly because it was on the road. And like I said, I didn't think it was a must-win, but three losses away from the Dome in non-conference is, that puts you behind a little bit, especially if you can't,
No, they're better than losing at home in non-conference.
Oh, absolutely, but it just makes you more nervous away.
I'm not trying to make excuses.
Right,
I'm just I understand. The more losses you get in non-conference,
it's just
the less leeway you have in conference play, and then that puts the pressure on you going into the conference tournament and stuff. So I see where you're going with that. So
Syracuse moves to 3-3 all time in the ACC Big Ten Challenge, and the Buckeye hold the series advantage at 5-3 all time. Joe, final thought here before we go into fan feedback, or you can just piggyback off of fan feedback.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I pretty much got out what I needed to get out, man. Great win.
It's time to hear from you, the loudmouths from the Loud House, the best damn college sports fans in the nation.
All right, fan feedback from the Ohio State game is brought to us by Shopping Town Mall Barbershop, open Tuesday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:45, and Saturday, 7 a.m. to 2, $15 cuts with 6 full-time barbers, family-friendly, old-school atmosphere, TVs for your viewing pleasure while you sit there and get tightened up a little bit. The only real game in town. Go in, see Joe, and grab they got stickers in there too. So you can grab one of those on your way out.
What?
Oh, yes. Obviously. So, all right. Well, let's do this. Let's go. I did 2 polls. They weren't totally serious, but I did them anyway. I said I put up a poll to vote for the ACC Coach of the Year the other day. That was a 24-hour poll, and 172 votes off of Twitter and 100 on Facebook, and the choices were Dino Babers, and Dino Babers, and wouldn't you know it, Dino Babers by a landslide. Dino Babers number 1, which shows you how lazy everybody is. 72% just going for the top Dino Babers. I'm a little disappointed in that.
No, I'm not going to lie to you. That's where I went to.
Oh, you did? You voted?
Yep.
Well, thanks, buddy. Well, that's nice.
Of course.
And then, who's worse? This was last night. I did a 1-hour poll. This is how frustrated everybody was. A 1-hour poll got 297 votes. Who's worse, broadcasters or referees? Which were both horrible.
Yeah.
They were both awful. Like someone said.
I don't know what was going on, man.
It was like a full moon or something? I don't know.
I mean, dude, once they started talking about Bob Knight's 30 for 30, and Dockage was talking about how he didn't want to participate and talk about some of the things that he, the stories and stuff. I feel like it's brought up something. I don't know what was going on, but after that, he was just talking about crazy stuff.
It was
I don't
weird,
know what was
right?
going on. It was kind of weird, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember at one point he said something like, "Oh, I was almost going to say something, but I'd have gotten in real big trouble." And it's like,
hey, he was just saying weird stuff.
So why are you saying it? Don't bring that up. What are you doing?
Quit being a tool.
It was weird, man.
Anyway,
definitely a better coach than a broadcaster.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, maybe not obviously because he doesn't have a job as a coach.
Well, maybe he chose to broadcast. But out of 297 votes, the referees won out 69% to 31%.
Of course, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was really bad. And we've got some fan feedback on that. The iTunes giveaway. Now, we every one of these post-game episodes, we choose somebody in the fan feedback segment. If you go to iTunes and you leave a 5-star review and our 5-star rating and a written review, and we read it on the show, you email us at cusemilitia@gmail.com and give us your address, and I'll send you a Cuse crate full of awesome stuff. Now, if you listen to the show and you don't like it, I don't want you to lie. But maybe why are you listening? That's my thing. So go there, give us a 5-star review and rating and a written review, and if I read it, you'll get on. So this week, first of all, Matt Hodgson has not gotten back. He was called on last week. So Matt, if you're listening, at Cuse Militia, I called on you last week after the Boston College game. So Brianne says, 5 stars. Best out there. I've been searching and wanting a great Cuse podcast, and immediately these guys sold it. Love this podcast, and my search has ended. Well, Brianne, thank you.
No.
That's awesome. Yes, search no longer. Okay? You found it. And thank you. So go to iTunes. Get those done. All right. These are in no specific order. But let's do this. At FreeBeer77. Let's see. From this is on Twitter. I am definitely a negative Nancy who yells at the TV too much and needs to listen to his wife and chill out because they're winning. Relax. I never relax. Basketball season is so bad for the heart. Huge road win come selection time. Refs were ridiculous.
Oh, yep, pretty much.
Concur?
I mean, I get it. Yeah, it's funny. Dude, cardiac Cuse, man.
I know there was a little bit of that. Yeah.
Yeah, between having to go outside and shovel and take care of your ice and snow and Syracuse basketball, I'm not surprised if Syracuse isn't the heart attack capital of the world.
I know, right? Someone's getting a heart attack every year shoveling snow alone. Our boy Gio, huge W. Shots fell smoothly. Elijah Hughes is very good, all caps. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing everything come into fruition with Frank, in which lets Tyus shine at shooting guard and allows O'Shea to get inside. Really solid defense tonight. Mark played impressively well. Ranked Monday, ? Win over Cornell. Well, let's take this. Let's take the defense. We mentioned the defense last episode, and I think I said I wasn't real impressed with it. Last night was better. I want to see more. Okay, I thought it was good, but I think it can be better. But the length,
it was good.
The length, though, you could see the difference last night. They were getting all.
Dude,
over
they got 26 points off free throws.
Yeah, I know.
Take that away, they have 36. So it's
exactly.
But yes, Gio, they probably should be ranked. To answer your question.
Yeah, I would say they
not high, but they should be in
low 20s. Or wait, how would you say that?
Right out.
Yeah, between 20 and 25, right? Is that fair?
That's fair. If not one of the last ones receiving votes, I can see. It all depends on who lost in front of him.
Mark. He mentions Mark. We didn't mention Mark. Yeah, he hit 2 threes last night.
Yeah.
Confidence. Mm-hmm. We mentioned last episode. I think I love how we can ping pong off the last episode so much. He showed confidence, man. He stared it down and he took 2 threes and he made 2 threes, right? He made the only 2 he took. Yeah. So really good. I want to see more of that from Mark. He must listen. Mike, horrible officiating, terrible announcers, and thank God for Frank Howard. Also, Boeheim is the king of second half adjustments. Yeah, they said, well, we got Brissett back in the second half too, which helped a little bit.
But again, I think I give kudos to that coach, Holtman. In the beginning of the game, he had a pretty good game plan, but it kind of, you saw at some point, Syracuse, Boeheim, they made the adjustments on the defense, and he just didn't make the adjustments on offense, or they they didn't make too many shots in the second half. They didn't make a lot of threes either, so.
Yeah, 6 for 22, and that's not what they're used to, so,
Right.
And they're awesome from the floor before this, but Syracuse was their stiffest competition so far. We listed who they've played against, and I think probably Creighton, and we don't really know yet.
Creighton and Cincinnati.
Yeah, Creighton and Cincinnati were their 2 biggest their most competition. Steve on Facebook says Hughes showed that he can shoot, hopefully with some consistency going forward. Battle still not playing well, although he had a couple big shots towards the end. The refs almost changed the game on Battle's shot, saying he pushed off when he clearly did not. A 4-point swing. Carey still has a ton to grow in mentally. Overall, we look much better than the last 2 games. When this team starts clicking, we'll be on the top, and nobody will want to play us. Let's see. Yeah, there was a couple instances with the ref. I remember the push-off one. That was not a push-off. Joe, you texted me right after that. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was not a push-off.
They don't. It's got to be full extension.
He just lifted his shoulder up a little bit, and then there was the one they called a blocking foul when the dude straight turned in and barreled over. Who was it? The shoulder. He laid his shoulder into him.
Oh, God, I don't even remember.
but I mean, he straight turned and laid his shoulder into him, and he got called for a block. I mean, that was freaking awful. It really was. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
Coach Gravelding says, way to come back from a poor start. OSU flops are unreal. Academy Award stuff there. Yeah, there was a couple of them. You telling me Mark took down that big dude there? What's his name?
Oh,
the big center there?
No, yeah, no.
I mean,
that flop. I mean, I think O'Shea's second one where they said that he pushed off when he was trying to post up on a guard in a mismatch. Like you said, the block, Tyus battles. I mean, there was a lot of them where
there was a lot on the floor. How about the one where
they called every one of them too?
They called everybody. How about the one where they Ohio State was shooting a three? They got the three and they got the defensive foul on the blocking for the pick that was being set.
Right.
I mean, yeah. Jeez, I was beside myself.
They got away
after
with
that.
the goaltend.
Yeah, there was a close one by us too, but I mean,
that was a goaltend.
Right.
But I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like I said, they shot 20. They had 26 points from the free throw line, man. I mean, 35 free throws to our 19, 28 fouls to their 17. I mean, come on.
Yeah, awful. And a lot of it were 50-50 balls on the ground too. So,
right.
It was a good Lester on Facebook. It was a good game. Wasn't too optimistic before it started. I am ready to see the Orange team that is not so isolation-centric. It always seems like it's Syracuse battles or Syracuse Brissettes or Syracuse whoever, and never the Syracuse Orange. Not sure if it's scheme or lack of chemistry, but you don't see the nice passes in the lane, the alley-oops, the getting each other pumped up. Way too much one-on-one play. I think, well, I'll say this. I thought they did okay last night.
Yeah, they did better.
For the first time. They did better, right. Like I said, I noticed them moving the ball a lot and getting inside and kicking it back out to Hughes a couple times. They were really pretty. And Howard did some of that last game, too, against, who was it? Colgate or whatever?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that's the difference, I think.
Yeah, but...
We talked about it. I mean, you finally have a floor general out there that knows how to kind of get the offense going, you know? And a lot of times when it comes down to it, too, with Boeheim, when you recruit for a 2-3 zone, sometimes you get guys in there that start in, they aren't really the greatest offensively because he's more worried about making it hard on defense. You know, if you can win scoring low 60s because your defense is good, then you don't need to recruit superstar offensive players. And that's kind of sometimes how that happens. So you saw last year where it was a lot of one-on-one because we only had 3 guys really that could score with Merrick and our centers that really couldn't. And then when Merrick started getting confidence, that's when we actually started getting better. We made that run in the tournament. Yeah. So obviously when you don't have guys that pretty much defenses don't even have to worry about, like right now, Chukwu and Sidibe, when those guys are in there, the other teams really don't even have to worry about it. So
they know they can get them in foul trouble too.
Right. And the more talent you have on the floor, bringing in Elijah Hughes and some of these other guys, and now Merrick having some of the confidence, and people are kind of worried about him a little bit. When he's in there in center, you don't really have a guy out there where teams aren't worried about them scoring. You know, you got 5 guys out there that can score. So,
yeah,
it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Last year was a lot of one-on-one because of the personnel and the lack of depth, and that's really all I can say. And this year, it's not going to be like that.
Right, and I do agree with some of this. I just think it's going to get better. I think it did get better last night, but I see where he's coming from. Absolutely.
Oh, I do, but without Frank Howard, it's hard to make a.
Yeah, right. No, absolutely, sure. I mean, we got our asses handed to us kind of by UConn. I mean, let's be honest, you know. So
UConn and Oregon.
Yeah, well, Oregon was, you know, they're ranked ninth in the nation. Yeah. George says on Facebook, we beat the Buckeyes and the refs. That's right, George. Robert, guess having our point guard back makes a big difference. That is from Robert, if I didn't mention it. Yeah.
Good job, Robert. Great observation.
Jake says, Big Ten refs, I take it. Carey clutch at the line, big time road win. Yeah, Carey he hit 4 in a row down the stretch there that we really needed. There was a Tyus Battle 3, and there was also a Tyus Battle layup that really put it away.
That lefty layup that was pretty.
Yeah, and that's what
I don't know how he made it.
I don't know either. He was kind of like not even really a layup either. It was kind of awkward. But
then back rim straight up and in. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Jalen Carey's going to be a good player. He's just got to figure it out mentally. You know, you get the freshman. You got to.
He's quiet.
Freshman woes. You figure it out. You know.
Yeah.
You got to kid get everything, when you go up a level, the speed changes, the size, the physicality, the strength, everything,
He's
pressure.
Learning. Yeah, he's learning. He's a good off the bench kid.
Completely fine. Yeah.
Yeah. He'll be all right. Herb says we still don't have that chemistry on this team. Well, like I said, I think it's getting better. We got to look at it like this, and I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. This is kind of our second game, in a way, with Frank Howard. So, and you saw the progression from Colgate, which was kind of a clumsy game a little bit in a sense, to going on the road and playing Ohio State. Big improvement. I mean, that's all you can ask for, I think, right?
Yeah. Well, dude, in other sports, sometimes 1 or 2 losses here with the guy that's injured, like a Dungy, and for football, like that could hurt your whole season. As far as basketball is concerned, you have so many games and you have the conference tournament at the end. So sometimes when you have those guys that are out, you just have to kind of do the best that you can, not get bad losses, and just kind of figure it out. And it just was, it kind of sucked that it was the beginning of the season with him, but now that we know that he's good to go, then like you said, you don't want to, it's not like you can't discount the first couple games, but you can definitely throw a little asterisk in there and say without Frank Howard.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. Exactly. One more. Syracuse sports in the South. Our defense came back around and we shot well. We showed a lot of hustle. Proud of this team to battle against number 16 and the officials. See the vibe everybody's got? Everybody saw it. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, it was. Frank, the numbers will tell you. But.
Yeah, Frank is back. Still not 100%. New Cuse team. Yeah, it's just kind of what we were just talking about. It's it's going to only get better. All right, Joe. Syracuse returns home to face Cornell December 1st at 8 p.m. this Saturday. Let's see. Cornell's averaging 72 points a game. Seems kind of high, right? Field goal percentage is at 44%, so they're shooting decent. And their three-point percentage is at 30, so not horrible. They got wins over Binghamton, SUNY Canton. They've got wins at
SUNY Canton.
It was at Binghamton, by the way, SUNY Canton, and at New Jersey Institute of Technology, and at Lafayette. They got losses against Colgate, Delaware, and one at UConn. So, I mean, I don't know, Joe. Sitting at 4-3, I don't know.
I understand the Binghamton one because that's a tough place to play.
The Broome County Arena? Is that where it is?
I have no idea.
I know the Broome County Arena. I used to go to concerts there. But anyway. I think it's a hockey rink, actually. Broome County Arena. Yeah. What is it? The Binghamton River Rats, or is that Albany? Albany River Rats. I don't know.
Yeah, Albany River Rats.
Yeah, tough place to play though. Place gets rowdy. Binghamton.
Those.
Well, what do you got, Joe? Man. Are you gonna just clown? Are you gonna clown Cornell?
No.
I mean, what's Jimmy Boeheim doing?
Academic institution.
He's Jimmy Boeheim scoring what, like 11 points a game?
12-something points a game, yeah.
Okay, all right.
He's doing all right. I mean, the main guy you got to worry. I mean, you just brushed through that stalwart of a schedule that they've gone through, but the biggest guy that we got to worry about really is Matt Morgan on their team. He's shooting about 56, 57% from field goal, and he averages almost 24 points a game. Also leads the team in rebounds with almost 7 points per game as well.
He's carrying that team then because Jimmy's he's the second leading scorer on that team.
Yeah, I think there's only 2 guys that average double digits. And looking at the schedule, which you were talking about, we've played 2 like opponents earlier in the season. They lost to Colgate by 16, and just a couple weeks ago, they lost to UConn by 17, which seems like they probably played them pretty good. Yeah, but in the UConn game, Matt Morgan scored 26 points, shot 11 of 15 from field goal. So he's definitely a legit scorer, legit player. But it's just one of these games where, we just have to – we can't lose it, obviously. So I don't think Cornell poses really that big of a threat. At least they're not as good as Colgate, and it might be one probably don't want to say the worst team, the easiest team that we probably have played since for the whole season. So, but you always have the Boeheim thing. You have 3 Boeheims on one court. You got the whole family thing. So obviously you got that going, and that's always kind of cool to see and watch. But
we got to watch it for the first time last year, right? Yeah.
Well, last year it was Boeheim coaching against him, but now he could actually play against his brother. Yeah, we actually talked about this.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Buddy's going to get any minutes or if there's anything going on with, if he's going to redshirt and if he can't play anymore. I don't know any of that, but just to have that out there, and to know that at least maybe not this year, but next year you could have Buddy going against Jimmy. So
yeah, and Jimmy will be a junior, right? And Buddy will be a sophomore. Yeah.
Or if he redshirts, so a redshirt freshman, but
right. I don't think that's happening, but I know you keep saying that, but that would be a great call. Like, I think he should, but as far as I heard, it's not happening.
Well,
not to say it can't. I'm just saying.
No, I mean, I've said it from the beginning. I just think just based upon the way that Jim Boeheim's basically always just his character and the way that he always has presented himself. Number one, he's never came across a guy where he's going to give somebody the upper hand just because he's their son. He's got a job to do. He's a professional. Yeah. So, that's just not going to happen. And again, we know that he really doesn't go that deep. We play zone, so we don't usually go past 8. And right now he's not in the top 8.
Well, you got to look at these conference games that are going to get super, competitive. And, I remember a time where we had to throw walk-ins on the court. What was it? Remember last year? He transferred. Yeah. But he played, what was his name? Brandon? What the heck was his name? Gosh.
Brandon Bayer?
Yeah, Brandon Bayer. Yeah, they had to throw him in a couple times during.
Pretty sure. Didn't he play in the tournament?
Yeah, in the tournament. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's how thin we were last year. So
I get it.
But, I understand, but I know. But you don't have to do that this year if you keep some of these kids,
Well, no, I know, but I'm saying we got everybody back, and then on top of that.
And we also got foul trouble.
Elijah Hughes and Carey, and we got in foul trouble, and he still didn't play. Three guys fouled out, and he still didn't play.
That's true.
So, I think the writing's on the wall as far as that's concerned. I think that he got every opportunity in the first couple of games to kind of see what's up. And like I said, it's no slight on him. It's not, he's a true freshman.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you come in and you're just not ready for the speed or the physicality or whatever of the game, and you need a year. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 years before somebody makes the NBA. So it's no slight against him. It's just, but we have a super talented team this year with everybody coming back.
Yep. All right. Well, was that it? Any final thoughts? If I don't ask, then I feel bad.
Well, I wish that there was a line out there, but like I told you again, usually they wait till the next day. So
look,
I'd like to give some people an option to go maybe make some money.
Well, the MyBookie picks just gonna have to wait. It's a little sketchy until we hit conference play too.
I'll make my own mark then 20, and I'm picking Syracuse minus 20. We win by 20 plus.
You're giving Cornell 20.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. All right, fine. Joe's MyBookie pick brought to you by MyBookie. Log on to MyBookie right now and use the promo code Cuse25 and get 50% bonus deposited into your account. That's promo code Cuse25. If you play, you win, you get paid.
Whoop, whoop.
There you go. They got the MyBookie plug in and everything. It's time for everybody else's plugs. Thank you guys for listening the most. We appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And
you're welcome,
thanks for everybody coming. I'm not talking to you. Thanks for everybody for the feedback. It went off last night. I imagine everybody was excited, but I love that kind of feedback. I love when I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to choose 10 of these? So thank you very much for that. Obviously, thank MyBookie, thank Armchair All-Americans, James on Guitar, JP Mulligans, and Shoppingtown Barbershop. All right, that's it for Joe. I'm Sean. We're out.
Peace.
This has been the Cuse Militia Podcast with Sean and Joe. Be heard. Contact us on Facebook at Cuse Militia Podcast and tweet at us using hashtag Cuse Militia.